Hey there, everybody. We're trying something different. We're trying something different, and we're also going live on Facebook. So if you see us being weird, because like it's backwards here, and then y'all are right here, and it's so much right here. We're having a hard time. But anyway, so we wanted to hop on here like we do every Thursday night. We've been doing it for quite a while now on Instagram, and those of you on Facebook are new to this. But we wanted to branch out and go onto Facebook. If you're joining from Facebook, y'all know, y'all may not know that on Instagram. We do this every Thursday night. Like I said, we also share a lot more of our life behind the scenes. Well, I guess I share a lot more. He doesn't. Behind the scenes, and we have, some people that maybe watch us. I don't know. But anyway, so we're branching out, and we wanted to come in here as well. So it's a little weird for us because we've got two screens going, like I said, and just like Facebook is backwards to us, but on Instagram it's like the right side, and we're just all confused. So you should have seen us before we hit play. But today we know we wanted to, there's Blakely. She said, hey, Beanie and Chris. Hey. We wanted to pop on here and just talk because, well, gosh, a lot's happened within the last week. I know last Thursday we talked about faith over fear, and today we wanted to talk about just being the church. And you don't have to have a church building. There's Chelsea. Hey, Chelsea. You don't have to have you don't have to have a church building to actually go to have church. We've seen so much, just within the last week, because a lot of things have shut down. Churches have shut down. They've shut down concerts. They've done all kinds of stuff. Like, I watched Brad Paisley at 5 o'clock. I've always wanted to go to one of his concerts. Well, I went today because he was doing like a little concert from his home. And then, we're having a lot of our church services and stuff like that. So, I mean, you can have church anywhere, and I feel like all I ever do is talk.
Oh, you don't have to, it's just like our pastor said, the actual church building is not the church. The people in it is the church. Mm-hmm. And this is when we're going to have to really step into our own role as being the church outside of the actual church building. Because of the situations we're in. That doesn't necessarily mean that's bad. In some senses, that may reach other people who may not ever step into a church building. So, that a friend may show them this, our stuff online or something from our church, or any church that's doing that right now, because it's global right now. So this could be a great ministry tool for the church in general, right. For everyone, not just for our church, not for just such and such a church. It's for everyone,
right?
Because it's what it's all about, is the people, coming to be part of God's kingdom, to do His work, not to be a quote unquote denomination, not to be a certain sect, but to just be the church that God asks us to be, right. In His Word. So, and He says where there are 2 or 3 are gathered, He is there. So all it takes is 2. And sometimes there may be just 1, but He's still there if you're seeking. So during this time, everybody's kind of stressed out about the kids being home and having to figure out how they're going to do this, and people are having to stay home from work. I know this is very stressful for a lot of people.
Unknown.
It's unknown, and the stress of not being able to work at your job or be able to go in, and yet your kids are there to be there to try to homeschool them.
Right.
We homeschool ours since they were big enough to start, so we understand that's challenging, to say the least. But as an adult, you're wondering what's going to happen, and this is when, this is the time I think. I mean, this is just my thoughts of it. We could all take this time to slow down and redirect our focus to God. Not saying that you're going to become this high and mighty,
holier than
thou, but maybe slow down just enough that where you and God have a little time to just talk to one another, and Him put a glimpse of what He wants for you in your ear and your heart. He's not looking for the greatest self-righteous human being to do His work. He just wants a willing heart and a humbled spirit, and that's the thing right now. We got to enjoy what we got with each other. Be safe, take care of each other. But this kind of thing does not happen. Not that I can ever remember as a kid. I know there's strikes with jobs and stuff when I was younger, but that's a different thing than what's going on now. So, and two, we just pray for our people and our country and the other countries that's dealing with it, because it's intense a lot more in other places right now for other people, and that's still God's children, God's people. So we got to just don't get stressed with it, but lean on Him more. It kind of reminds me of what we went through when Mandy's health was in the way it was a few years ago. You come to the point where all you got to
your back's
be able to do, you gotta lean on God, or you're just gonna lean back and fall. So
so I think we need to for sure do that, and God's wanting us to do that. And I think you said a key thing. Like, I think some of us, of course, we are talking to God, but sometimes we live in such a world right now that's so fast paced, we don't listen. And right now we're having to listen, and we what else we got to do anyway? I mean, we got to listen, and
because the rush go here there is kind of slowed almost to a halt, other than the necessity of what you may have to go get, food and stuff like that. But
so there is a silver lining here. I mean, there is something good that can come out of this, and this could help your relationship with God.
It could help your relationship with God. It could help with your family, your children. I mean, everything. I mean,
embrace it.
Yeah, and that's difficult. Even my role has changed. I'm home now, by the grace of God, and helping with homeschooling and doing whatever I can to help with Mandy.
Since January, he started working from home.
And that's a big challenge, because you, as a man, you feel like you're supposed to go out and do and earn, and she's like, but you're doing the things that we plan to do. We're doing it together. But as a man that's being told not to come into work right now, I can't imagine, because that hits you in here where you're like, how am I supposed to take care of my family? So there's people dealing with that, the so-called breadwinners of the family. So there's a lot of things going on, and that's stressful for an adult, whether they have kids or not. It's stressful.
And if you've never homeschooled before, I mean, we've been homeschooling for 7-8 years now. I don't know, but we've been doing it for so long, and it still drives us crazy, y'all. I mean, there's some days that we're like, I mean, why did we even do this?
You look at them and go, are you using your brain at all?
And
I'm going, am I the one making them this bad or terrible? I mean, but
you're normal.
You're gonna have a good day. You're gonna have a bad day. Sometimes it's more bad than good, but it
just depends on the week.
It's not gonna be no perfect mixture of what can happen. So don't don't
No.
put the pressure on you so hard that you got to have this regiment going in this time frame, because kids are going to throw you out of time frame unless
Right.
they're in a school setting, which that is constructed with the time. But when you're home, it's a lot different for
And
a
I mean,
kid.
they're adjusting too
Oh, yeah.
right now. Your kids are adjusting from being at school to home, and you can't expect it to just totally turn on. And even our kids, they have structure, every day with homeschool, but still something throws them off sometimes,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's just chaos. So
Yeah.
don't be so hard on yourself. And
No.
it's
Do the best you can do.
yeah.
And enjoy the time you have together, because there's really nothing else we or us as a whole can do
Right.
if we're going to try to abide by what our leaders are asking us to do, to try to not socialize, not gather in groups more than 10, which I
That's
know
our
they're.
family.
I mean, we go over 2 sets of our group of our family. It's over. I mean, we can only go see one at a time.
We can only go see one at a time, but
But yeah, just hang in there, because it's unknown, and
it is for everybody.
I mean, because God, Disney World has shut down.
Oh my
Disneyland
God, the
is shut
world
down.
has gone
Somebody
to an
said
end.
the other day, Walmart went from 7 to 11 now. If Waffle House closes, it's going to end soon. So,
If y'all don't have Waffle Houses where you are, we have them in the South,
Sorry.
and everybody loves it. So.
it's open 24 hours,
Yeah.
so they cook everything. But
Yeah.
it's you got to find the humor in some of it, so
Yeah.
you don't get yourself
Go
all
crazy.
worked up, because
Absolutely.
this is serious. It's very serious for the ones who have any underlying condition.
Yeah.
My mother has an
Right.
underlying condition, and we're trying our best to let her stay close to home as possible, and let us go get the things they need, because God forbid they don't need this. I mean,
Somebody said Waffle House.
yeah. I mean, and we all have that family member that
Right.
may be like that. I mean, sure, you may get the sickness, and it may not bother you very much at all, but what's it going to do to somebody
Right.
who has other trouble? And that's the part they're trying to stop.
Right.
And it's you just gotta hold on to each other, hold on to your
Right.
family, and enjoy it.
Embrace God at this
Go
time.
outside. Don't stay in the house all
Yeah,
day. Go
and-
outside and enjoy the weather,
And
because
like we said earlier, I mean, be the church. The
Yeah.
church doesn't have to be in a building. You don't
No.
have to have a building for that. All you need is, get out that Bible if you haven't in a while. I know everybody has their Bible on their phone now, but get out the actual Bible. Talk to the kids about it, because I think that's really what God's wanting right now is like, okay, you're slowing down now, so you got to listen to me. And I think we talk to him all the time, but sometimes we don't listen. I know I don't.
Yeah.
And I don't slow down long enough, and I think he's trying to teach all of us to do that. And and be there with your family, and maybe somebody who in your life, that you don't see very much, call them, talk to them. I know, we're going to try to do more things like this online too, if, getting family involved, because we are such a social media internet world right now, which, I always have been. Chris, we just got him into it, 6 weeks ago whenever we started this or whatever.
Sorry.
But we need to do more things like this. And involve your families with it. I know we talked about a couple of weeks ago, like, separate, y'all were asking how social media, like, affects our family time or the time together that we have. But I do have to admit, like we said that day, it doesn't really affect it, because it's a part of our life. We know when to let go of it, just like anything else. We know when to have a boundary, just like anything else. And I can remember whenever social media really started getting big, people were like, social media is terrible, it's just awful. But it is what you make it. And if it gets to be toxic, unfollow people. I do it every day. If it gets to be a comparison game, turn it off, but only listen to the things that, you know, that are positive right now, especially because the walls can close in on you. And but be the church. Be the church, and I think that's what the world is yearning for right now.
Just be real, be kind. Especially if you're going somewhere to pick something up that somebody's bringing out to you, be kind, because they're working through it, and they're doing us and you a favor, so you don't have to go in somewhere.
Right.
And be kind about it. I mean,
I went to Target this morning, and not to toot my own horn, but most of the time me and Chris are pretty friendly. I mean, and we'll say hello, how are you, and how's your day been, or something like that. And she brings out the stuff to me, and I was like, how's your day? And she said, do you want the real answer, or do you want the answer that I've been telling everybody? I mean, she went on to tell me that, people had just been rude and just snarky and nasty, and it's like, that is not being the church. That is not. Right now you can invite all kinds of people to the church, which is you. It doesn't have to be your church online. You, especially right now, there's not a building that you can go into. You are the building. Be the church. I mean, and I really felt bad for her, because it was only 9:00 this morning whenever I went. I mean, and they had just opened, and she was going to have a hard shift, I'm sure. And I'm thinking, all these people are doing all of these things for us to sacrifice for us, but we're not being kind to them. So be the church. You are that vessel of the church. There's nowhere for them to go right now. So
yeah,
that's about all I can say. Be the church.
Just be like, as much like you can of Jesus as you can. Just be kind.
Yeah.
Be approachable.
We all fail at that.
Keep them at 6 feet, but be approachable. Wait a minute.
Don't touch me.
No, I'm to be serious though.
I
know. Don't act like everybody has the plague, because that's really not what's going on. But just be aware.
Yeah.
Of your surroundings, but be aware of someone maybe fighting a battle that's bigger than this thing going on in the world right now.
Bigger than COVID-19.
Yeah, there's people dealing with stuff that in their lives that to them is 100 times more difficult than this.
Right.
So just always be aware. We don't know what's going on in the person in the other pair of shoes, because we're not in those shoes.
And I mean, we're not saying that we're like Jesus.
No,
I mean, we strive to be like him as much as we can, and we try to be better than what we were yesterday, but we fail at it every day.
Jesus don't say the words I say sometimes. So thank God for grace. That's all I can say. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
So
we're not going to get into that, but yeah, I mean,
No, I'm just kidding.
It's real life.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot act no way am I any better than anybody else. That's a joke, because I'm just as faulty sinner as anybody every day. So
thank God for grace, as Chris says. So grace. But we strive to be better than what we were yesterday. We strive to be more like Jesus every day. So with that, be the church.
Yeah.
Be the vessel.
Be safe.
You are the church. Be safe. Yes. And like I said, we are going to come back and do some more things. We have some plans too to kind of get the family involved too on one of my other channels as well. So stick around. We'll let you know. It's got something to do with Disney. So y'all know.
They might open up one day. I don't know.
They will. Oh, shut your pie hole. If they don't open back up, it will be the end of the world. I mean,
yeah, because they own half of it, I think.
No, we cannot. No, we can't even think. We cannot even think like that.
I'm just messing.
Yes.
You gotta be light.
You've already been negative. We gotta go.
I'm not negative.
But it does have something to do with Disney.
Across the street.
So you gotta stay 6 feet away. Anyway, I'll let you know whenever that happens. But Be the church. And guys, reach out to us anytime. I mean, now more than ever, reach out to us. I know a lot of people on Instagram, y'all up here.
6 feet away, but don't reach too close. 6 feet away.
Here on Instagram, y'all reach out to me all the time, but here on Facebook, y'all do too sometimes, but not as much. So please feel free anytime. If you need a good laugh, go to my Instagram account, Faith and Pixie 1. I'm always doing something absolutely ridiculous on stories, so most of the time whenever he looks at them, it's like, so anyway, he's like, oh God. But anyway, so if you need a laugh, come on over there and we'll let you know whenever this happens again or more things happen again, but we will definitely be here next week at 7 p.m. Central Time. So
be safe.
Yes, be safe. So
check on your friends and loved ones as much as you can, because some people don't like just sitting.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody. I can't sit.
He doesn't sit.
I've just about fixed everything there is to fix right now. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but.
Oh my God. Help me. Help.
It'll be all right.
Help me. Yeah, so anyway, be the church. You are the church. You don't have to have a building.
You've said that.
I know I've said it, but I mean it.
Tell them bye.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
All right, I'm trying.
See ya.
Bye, y'all. If I can get it.
Well, you're still talking up there.
I know.